Good morning and welcome to the pre-market view. US markets were down about 0.4 to 0.45% as the shutdown fears loom large there, and there's a feel that if the US Senate or Congress is not able to clear this bill by 1st of October, then there could be a shutdown, and there is also a feel that probably at the last moment some agreement or some consensus would be reached with the congressmen. But the Obamacare bill could be actually delayed as there has not been any consensus on that one. European markets too were flat to marginally weak, particularly Italian markets were weak on the political uncertainty there, and that particular market was down almost about 1.25%. And when we look at the Asian markets today, most of them are down quite sharply. In fact, Nikkei is down almost about 1.9%, and most of the other Asian markets are down about 1.25 to almost about 1.5%. SGX Nifty is also suggesting that we are going to open up about 65 points down, somewhere around 5815. And in terms of flows, FIs were net sellers in the cash market to the tune of about 245 crore. The domestic institutions were sellers to the tune of about 115 crore. And in the index futures, we have seen FIs selling somewhere close to about 241 crore. Back home, our markets also have been quite dull and lackluster. As now we are moving into the earnings seasons, the entire focus is going to be there on what the numbers could look like for individual companies. The 10-year bond yields in US have cooled down to almost about 2.59 from the high of about 2.9, which is definitely comforting in terms of liquidity in the yield perspective. On that note, let me invite Shaival to take us through important F&O cues, data and strategies that we can have in the F&O markets.
Good morning friends, let's have a view at derivatives. Friends, September series have been a roller coaster ride for the markets, and now we have seen that the October series not only started on a weaker note but also has ended has not only started Friday session on weaker note but has also ended the session on weak note due to long positions been squared off by market participants. Now talking about the PCR ratio, the PCR ratio for the current series started with mark of 1.02 and currently it has increased marginally to 1.03, as we have seen that the activity on the put side has been comparatively higher to that of call side, and which is clearly visible in the strikes of 5,900, 800, 700 and 500, whereas on the call side we have seen that strike of 6,000 and 6,100 stands with highest number of shares in the open interest, which probably would act as an hurdle area for the market even if we see some bounces in the market. Now talking about the weekly range or say weekly bias, our weekly VWAP is at 5950. We are trading below this. Our bias for the market is negative. On the higher side, 5950 for this week would act as a hurdle, and on lower side 5750 would be the target which we would be eyeing for. SGX Nifty is suggesting a negative opening. So what we feel as the bias for the market is negative. Selling pressure might continue to emerge in the market at higher levels, and from intraday perspective one can go short on Punchloid by maintaining a stop loss of 24 rupees 25 paisa. Thank you.
Here are the important news and events that we are tracking today. First of all, the RBI would be announcing the April to June current account deficit number, and that number is likely to be about $23 billion as against about $18 billion reported earlier. Today morning, the Chinese manufacturing data in the form of HSBC Chinese manufacturing PMI came in a little lower than expectations at about 50.2 versus the expectations of about 51.2. We've seen that in the past few months that this number has been pretty good, and we've seen good action in the metal pack on the back of that, but this number has been weak, so one can go short on Tata Steel at the current market price of 287 with a stop loss of 293 and a target of about 278 to about 272. Accenture came out with their numbers, and the numbers were more or less in line with the expectations. Their quarter-on-quarter revenue growth was almost about 4%, but the outlook or the guidance which they have given has been quite cautious. So a mixed set of outlook coming out from Accenture. Mahindra has hiked the prices of products across the board by 6,000 to almost about 20,000 rupees from October 1st, which is going to be the festive season. And in another development, ING Group, which is the Dutch financial services company, is looking out for a buyer for its 43% stake in the ING Vaishya Bank. So expect some action in the ING Vaishya Bank on the back of that. The new entrants to the F&O list are three now, Glenmark, GSK Consumer and United Breweries. So expect some positive action in these stocks in today's market. And Gujarat NRE Coke's Australian investment has run into some serious trouble since its auditors have given a very negative remarks on that company's ability to survive as a going concern. So expect some negative reaction in the Gujarat NRE Coke stock in today's market. Power Grid Corporation is looking out for some kind of a stake sale, and three investment bankers have been appointed for a total amount of about $1.2 billion. And in another development, central government has approved 15 proposals of foreign direct investment or FDI amounting to rupees 2,000 crore, one of them being the Jubilant Pharma's investment proposal. Coming to the stock specific news, DLF is talking to some of the buyers for selling 900 crore worth of land to Shriram Group. One can go long on DLF with a stop loss of 129 and a target of 136. And Lupin has received the approval for from the US FDA for certain contraceptive tablets. So one can go long there with a stop loss of 834 and a target of 879 to about 895. That's it from all of us, friends. Have a great trading session and see you tomorrow at the same time.